and welcome to St. Lucia Magazine, your weekly roundup of the nation's top stories in education, the economy, infrastructure, agriculture, and more. I am your host, Kishma Serrier. In this edition, Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre creates avenues for persons occupying Crown lands to own those lands at lower market costs. And Cabinet has approved financing for training in cybersecurity. About 30 residents in Odsa will now have the opportunity to own the Crown lands that they reside. The Minister for Equity, Honorable Joachim Henry, has announced that several persons from the Castries Southeast constituency will be receiving documentation for land ownership for properties that they have been occupying for decades. This follows an announcement from the Prime Minister on creating avenues for persons occupying Crown lands to own these land at lower market costs.
I am pleased to report this morning that 40 persons in Odsa will be receiving a letter to own the property where they are on Crown lands because they have been there for 40 years and more. In addition to this, last week we prepared letters to approximately 80 persons so far, both in Bel Air and in Odsa, would be owning land at just $2.50 per square foot. Lands ranging between 5,000 and in some instances up to 10,000 square foot. The Prime Minister has kept his promise. And if today someone can purchase a parcel of land at $14,000, $8,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to own a parcel of land, you do not need to come up with $75,000. And guess what? The Cabinet approved that with a 10% deposit, they can now have 5 years to pay for the property.
Minister Henry said that the initiative would mitigate the needs for loans.
It means that you do not have to go for a loan. It means that you could work that out with the Ministry of Planning and pay for a parcel of land, and now you own land in St. Lucia. This is a promise made by the Prime Minister, and I'm happy that the recipients of such a wonderful initiative has taken place in Castries Southeast, in the community of Odsa, incidentally, where we launched Lucia yesterday, and in Bel Air. So this will continue across St. Lucia. So those persons who are hearing it, this is what Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre is about, so that every St. Lucian that we can possibly reach can own a piece of this beautiful island we call home, we call Helen of the West Indies.
An occupational survey conducted by a physical planner was used to determine who was eligible for the purchase of land. Government plans to implement the program across the island to widen access to opportunities for land ownership. From the Government Information Service, I am Kishma Serrier. The government of St. Lucia has made funding available for the training of up to 100 persons interested in careers in cybersecurity. Virgil Leonti tells us more.
With increasing threats from cybersecurity breaches, the St. Lucia government is taking steps to protect its digital infrastructure. Prime Minister Honorable Philip Pierre announced that the Cabinet of Ministers has approved financing for 100 learners to get trained in CyberNation's cybersecurity analytics. With an acute shortage of skilled personnel, the training is expected to improve digital protection of critical government sectors.
And the benefits strengthen the national cybersecurity resilience across government and critical sectors. Development of a pool of certified cybersecurity analysts for St. Lucia, enhance employability of St. Lucians professionals in a highly demand global industry, and support for government's digital transformation initiatives such as DigiGov, Customs and Immigration, Internal Revenue Department, and Healthcare.
The program will cost the government $750,000. Individuals with a background in information technology are being encouraged to apply through the Youth Economy Agency.
We think that the Youth Economy Agency will be the lead provider. And the Ministry of Economic Development will also play a part in conjunction with the Office of the Prime Minister. We think cybersecurity is a very important area, so we think that we should have a cohort of well-qualified and well-trained cybersecurity people, and the young people of St. Lucia who have shown great inclination towards IT in these programs. That's a good opportunity for them to increase their skills and to become globally employable.
The training will be provided by Protexia, an internationally recognized cybersecurity platform which has provided similar training in other Caribbean countries. For Government Notebook, I am Virgil Leonti reporting.
The Ministry of Agriculture has signed an agreement to expand the cultivation of local tree crops in order to help farmers meet domestic and regional demand and to improve the island's food security. Zarek Felix reports.
St. Lucia is taking major steps to strengthening its agricultural sector through the tree crop expansion and rehabilitation project, with new partnerships aimed at supporting farmers, boosting production, and expanding market opportunities. A recent ceremony brought together government officials, project partners, and farmers to formalize agreements under the project. The initiative is designed to enhance the cultivation of fruits and tree crops, provide technical and market support, and ensure sustainable livelihoods for rural communities. Key crops targeted under the project include breadfruit, coconut, soursop, and avocado. By providing tree crop plants, training, and technical guidance, the Agriculture Ministry aims to help farmers meet both domestic and regional demand while encouraging innovation and value-added production.
We also need to create livelihoods in terms of job opportunities and to ensure that our food is secure. And so this is what this particular project is about. Restoring these valley lands and ensuring that there are crops growing, being cultivated, and that you could make money off of the land and not just allow it to sit there.
The Tree Crop Expansion and Rehabilitation Project emphasizes the importance of partnership and collaboration, ensuring farmers have both the knowledge and the resources to maximize their yields and income. Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, Honorable Alfred Prosper, in highlighting the national gains supporting tree crops, says the initiative contributes to food security, strengthens local economies, and fostering community resilience across the island.
That this project is so important for us as a ministry, for our food security, for reducing our food import bill, and to ensure that our farmers continue to generate an income from agriculture. Roseau is a specifically selected site. Roseau is known to be very fertile. It has the right soils. It is ideal for the inclusion or the introduction of machinery and a range of technical activities that will make this project a success.
The ceremony highlighted a strong partnership between the ministry and farmers, signaling a brighter and more sustainable future for the agricultural sector in St. Lucia. From the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, I'm Zarek Felix reporting.
Still to come, the Lightning Aquatic Swim Club donates, and the Ministry of Health hosts a health planning workshop. Please stay with us.
The Ministry of Agriculture presents World Food Day under the distinguished patronage of the Honorable Alfred Prosper. Figlas Sanutut Sonutut Saut, Lakai IRDC grounds, Denry, on the 12th of October from 11 a.m. onwards. The Banana and Plantain Festival. Sa Pakai Normal. Eat what you grow up is food in what bill no toho. Everything produced from bananas and plantain by agro-processors and students. Simply, that's the way to go. Lots of booths with delicious dishes. Lisha duet, Parmache salad entertainment gala, Impulse Man, Umpa, Servants, Ezra, Invader, Mofire, Wuletete, and lots more. Like I sit near Kids Zone. So children, you're not on your own. Eat fresh, St. Lucia's best.
Figlas et sanutut. What if the next drop is the last? St. Lucia is facing longer, more intense dry spells, and our water sources are drying up. And when the rains come, they come harder and faster, damaging our homes and disrupting our water supply. But we can change the outcome. By conserving water and protecting our sources, every small action adds up. WASCO, working in collaboration with the Water Resource Management Agency, is committed to securing our water future. But we need your help. Together, we can protect our water, our health, and our future. One small step can make a big impact. Let's secure our water and secure our future. For more information, visit wascostlucia.com.
Welcome back. Swimming students and their families recently donated school supplies to the less fortunate.
What began in 2017 as a simple call for young swimmers to share what they had has grown into one of St. Lucia's most inspiring acts of generosity. The Lightning Aquatic Swim Club, through its annual Walk in My Shoes initiative, continues to equip less fortunate students with the tools they need to succeed in school. This year's drive brought together swimmers and their families who donated new and gently used school supplies, including textbooks passed on by graduates of the club. The efforts reflects the club's enduring commitment to instilling empathy and social responsibility in its athletes.
In 2017, we started this initiative dubbed Walk in My Shoes. And the idea was to have our swimmers think about what it would be like if you didn't have those things that we often take for luxuries, and to share some of what they've had. Many of them will tell their parents, I need a new school shoe, or I need a spray ground bag because that's what's in style now. And because their parents may, are in a position, or they have relatives who can donate to them or who can give them, they get those things. So we encourage our swimmers every year to set aside new items that they may not have used, and gently, slightly used items to share with persons who are less fortunate than them, to enable them to have a pleasant school experience during the year.
The Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, through its Welfare Department, once again partnered with the Swim Club to extend the reach of this impactful initiative.
On behalf of the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, allow me to extend appreciation to the members, parents, and administration of the Lightning Aquatic Swim Club. We thank you for your continued thoughtfulness. We are truly grateful that you always seek out the welfare unit. And I really want to point out, you don't wait for us to ask. You've recognized the need and continue to offer year after year, and we are truly grateful. Your gesture is truly meaningful and impactful to the children who receive these supplies.
Through partnerships like these, the Ministry of Equity continues to strengthen its outreach to vulnerable households while advancing St. Lucia's social development agenda.
Health development stakeholders convened to create a roadmap for the health sector that will guide the future delivery of health services. Onika McCoy has the details.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs has taken a decisive step toward shaping the future of healthcare in St. Lucia with the hosting of a high-level validation workshop to advance the finalization of the National Strategic Plan for Health 2025-2035 NSPH. Held on Tuesday, September 16th at the Bougainvillea Conference Room Bay Gardens Hotel, the workshop brought together key partners and stakeholders in health development. Supported by the Pan American Health Organization PAHO and the World Bank Group, the session formed part of a series of stakeholder engagements launched in 2024 aimed at creating a health sector roadmap that is both inclusive and transformative. The NSPH 2025-2035 will serve as a comprehensive, forward-looking framework to guide the delivery of health services over the next decade. With a strong focus on resilience, equity, and people-centered care, the plan is being carefully aligned with global and regional commitments, including the Universal Health Coverage UHC strategy, the Sustainable Development Goals SDGs, and the Essential Public Health Functions Framework EPHF. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Jenny Daniel, emphasized that building a strong health system requires a clear strategy, one that defines the goals, the people it is meant to serve, and the path to achieving lasting results.
As this strategic planning process is very important. Of course, we know that we can implement various activities, we can have goals, we can have objectives, but if we don't have a strategy of knowing what we would like to do, who we would like to do it for, and the way in which we would like to conduct our health services here in St. Lucia, then we will not achieve. We also need to keep in mind, of course, how we will know when we would have achieved our objectives. And so all of this is going to be discussed today. And of course, we have our partners, the World Bank Group. We have the Pan American Health Organization, both of whom have been very instrumental in getting us to this point.
Solange Kobe Jackson, PAHO advisor for Family and Life Course in Primary Healthcare, explained how PAHO's collaboration with the Ministry of Health is significant in ensuring that St. Lucia's strategic plan is built on solid foundations.
PAHO has been working with the Ministry of Health very closely. We work on first of all, on assessing the essential public health functions that leverage or give us some priorities that will be considered for this national strategic plan. So the essential public health services we work on will provide us like a path to have a national plan that provides standards of care, standards of guidelines to St. Lucia.
According to the senior health economist for the World Bank, Edith Villeni, this process marks a pivotal moment for the World Bank, one that brings St. Lucia together to not only design a plan, but to take ownership of its health future.
Your last national strategic plan was between 2006 and 2011, and this is a fantastic opportunity to convene to create a new national strategic plan for health for St. Lucia. This strategic plan, the validation session of this, is a unique opportunity for the Ministry of Health, all of the stakeholders and also the partners to come together, not just to have a strategic plan, but indeed to create the ownership within the country for your strategy.
Upon completion, the strategic plan will set clear priorities for St. Lucia's health sector, ensuring that policies, resources, and initiatives are effectively coordinated to meet the needs of the population. It will also reaffirm the ministry's commitment to providing access to quality healthcare for all, while strengthening the health system's capacity to withstand future challenges. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, I am Onika McCoy reporting.
Educational institutions in St. Lucia were recently assessed to ensure educational programs meet the demands of the market. Kiba Taliam tells us more.
The OECS Skills and Innovation Project, SKIP, has successfully completed a one-week mission in St. Lucia. The initiative assembled students, educators, and representatives from public and private sector organizations to provide feedback expected to shape the development of programs designed to strengthen skills and workforce readiness across the island. Supported by consultant team Ginger Sofrico, the mission encompassed guided, structured engagements to ensure that the perspectives of St. Lucian students, educators, and workforce representatives were carefully considered. Project Officer with the OECS SKIP, Eva Peter, commented on the week-long initiative.
So this mission is looking to assess the capacity of the NSDC as well as the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College to support and deliver programs that are going to meet market needs. So in essence, are our students equipped with the skills, transversal skills, the technical skills, the knowledge that the market currently has a demand for? And are they going to be able to apply those skills to areas that are emerging?
Funded by the World Bank through the International Development Association, IDA, the OECS SKIP combines investment in training, institutional capacity, and innovation support.
By growing institutional capacity, it means every St. Lucian now has the opportunity to access programs or courses through an institution that is set up in a manner that they are really providing services that ensure our young people are able to transition into market, ready to face the challenges of the day.
Throughout the week, participants provided valuable feedback on the project's objectives and strategies. This collaborative process ensures that OECS SKIP's programs are aligned with the specific needs and priorities of the St. Lucian community.
Certainly the private sector, as we said, is going to be important in this because if they are the ones whose needs we are trying to service, and so their views are obviously going to be very, very important to this process. And again, we are very thankful for their engagement. Certainly, if every St. Lucian adds their voices to how they believe the colleges can be strengthened, National Skills Development Center can be strengthened, then it means we are in a better position to ensure that whatever is done or the recommendations emanating from this consultancy are acceptable by all, and that we are all in a position to do what we can to ensure that, those recommendations are applied in a manner that benefits us all.
The week-long mission marks a foundational step in building a more skilled and innovative workforce. OECS SCIP remains committed to ensuring that education and skills development translate into tangible opportunities for the youth and communities of St. Lucia. From the OECS Skills and Innovation Project, I am Kibet Haliam.
And coming up next, a closer look at how small business owners in the marine tourism, fisheries and waste management sectors can apply for funding opportunities under the Blue Economy.
Disasters are becoming worse and more frequent. Here are some tips for fisher folk to reduce the negative consequences of climate change. Always pay attention to the early warning advisories. Secure your boat and gear before a storm and during a storm. Never leave ports without safety and navigational equipment, and consider insurance for your fishing gear and vessel. Keep fish landing sites clear of anything that can cause harm during a hurricane or storm. Climate change is happening. Are you prepared? Changement climat qu'a fait. Est-vous préparé?
Hey there, financial sector. Ever thought of supercharging your lending power? Introducing St. Lucia's Security Interest in Movable Properties Registry, Collateral Registry. No more just houses and land. Think cars, machinery, receivables, intellectual property, even inventory. The benefits? Reduced risks, increased lending, and a diversified loan portfolio. We're talking transparency, innovation, and a bigger, happier customer base. Together, let's drive economic growth, create trust, and welcome more clients. Collateral Registry for Movable Assets. The future of finance is moving. Are you? St. Lucia's Collateral Registry, increasing your financial access by using movable collateral. For more information, contact the St. Lucia High Court at 468-7500.
The OECS recently held information sessions to educate MSME owners on applying for upcoming funding opportunities within the Blue Economy. The funding is available for small businesses in Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent. Jacques Kingston-Compton reports.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Blue Economy offers sustainable and transformative financial opportunities. Business Development Services information sessions were held recently on the island to educate MSME owners in the Blue Economy on how to apply for the Regional MSME Matching Grants Program. The funding program is an initiative of the Unleashing the Blue Economy of the Caribbean, or UBEC. It provides funding opportunities to micro, small, and medium enterprises in the Blue Economy in Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. UBEC's Business Development Services consultant for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Simone Murray, led an in-person and online session.
This section of the Matching Grants Program, which speaks to business development, also allows persons to participate in business training, and some of the training that they would be exposed to would be financial management, marketing, human resource management, customer service, and also support for developing the grant proposals to be submitted under the UBEC Matching Grants Program.
Organizational and business consultant in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Franz George, was pleased with the new opportunity for Blue Economy Vincentian MSME owners.
I'm really happy to hear about the
opportunity and what's being offered for persons across the 3 sectors. Personally, I have clients in 2 sectors, and I do think that this is a great opportunity for them. And what I look forward to is not just, them applying, but them also getting the opportunity to be part of a training. And I think that is an aspect that sets this opportunity apart from others that I've seen so far. So kudos to UBEC and OECS on this initiative.
The Window 1 call for proposals of the Regional MSME Matching Grants Program will launch on Friday, October 17, 2025. MSMEs in the marine tourism, fisheries, and waste management sectors in Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines can receive funds ranging from $5,000 to $25,000. For more information, visit the UBEC webpage at the OECS website, www.oecs.int, or send an email to ubecgrant@oecs.int.
And to end our broadcast, the Ministry of Agriculture reminds fishers to take precaution during the hurricane season in order to minimize losses. Nival Ogis has more.
The Department of Fisheries is urging St. Lucian fishers to adhere to hurricane advisories to safeguard their families and livelihoods. Fisheries Extension Officer Mrs. Rita Strawn Mitchell says during the hurricane season, fishers should pay close attention to official advisories. She says the Department of Fisheries utilizes varied modes of communication, including direct messaging, phone calls, and word of mouth to ensure that advisories reach as many fishers as possible. She explains the types of advisories.
We have the Tropical Depression Advisory. It provides information on the development and threats of a tropical depression, which becomes a threat to land and the coast, right? Then we have the Tropical Storm, which is issued when the wind speed of a tropical cyclone reaches 39 miles per hour. Then we have the Hurricane Watch. It's an advisory issued from a particular area when conditions are favorable for the development of a hurricane. It doesn't necessarily mean that the hurricane will be imminent, but those watches are important. Then we have the Hurricane Warning. It is issued when hurricane conditions are expected to affect a particular area within 36 hours.
In case of a storm, fishers are advised to take several precautionary measures.
We would advise them to retrieve their pots from the water. That would be one form of gear. And for those fishers with fillet nets, beach seine, we're asking them to store them secured somewhere. So if they're on a line in front of the bay, remove and store in a locker or anywhere they would feel safe, but away from the event. So it's just the pots and the nets. Yes. But as it relates to the vessel, they would haul it up onto land. Are we asking them to secure it firmly, tie it, or put sandbags in it so it doesn't move so much if we were to get heavy winds?
Following a storm, Fisheries Extension officers first wait until an all-clear advisory is given and then perform damage assessments.
Remember, it's an assessment that we're doing, and in that assessment, we would ask them for an estimate of the damage cost. It is not guaranteed that they will get a relief, but it's just to assess the impacts of whatever storm or hurricane that would affect us, that would have affected us.
The extension officer emphasized the need to adhere to advisories from reliable sources like NEMO and the Met Office. She says that while not every storm strikes the island directly, taking precaution can significantly reduce losses and damages. From the Government Information Service, I am Nivalo East.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of St. Lucia Magazine. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who contributed to this production: the National Television Network, the GIS team, and the communication officers across various government ministries. Thank you for watching on NTN Channel 122 and following the official social media platforms of the Government of St. Lucia. I am Kishma Serie. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged as we continue tracking St. Lucia's progress.